Hello, hi guys. Welcome to my channel. In today's session, we are going to do a small project, and it is not going to be a tutorial video. It's going to be a small project that we are going to do on Microsoft Fabrics. Okay. So in this architecture, you can see in the presentation, we have three sources that we are defining for our small project. One is like Data Lake Gen 2, from which we can pull the data into our fabrics either using shortcut or using data ingestion process. Then we have SQL database. This is the data lake, and this is the SQL database on-prem, and we will be making use of fabrics and data gateway that we have already installed in our local machine. So if you have not seen, you can refer my YouTube channel, my playlist for Microsoft Fabric. And then we will try to copy the data from on-prem SQL database into our one lake, that is into our lake house. All right, and then we have GitHub, where I'm placing like couple of small files, which I will just show you how you can establish the connectivity and try to get the data into your lakehouse. And then once that session is done, the data ingestion part will be completed in the first series of the project. And later in the coming sessions, we will be leveraging Synapse data engineering, wherein we will be creating different notebooks in order to use this landed or ingested data from different sources, do some small transformations, do sort of key generations, get the relationship between the tables, and get the surrogate keys or the references keys generated against the fact and dimension tables. And then ultimately, we will make sure while doing this process, we are moving the files and converting that into Delta Parquet format. Okay, so that we can leverage the complete benefit of fabrics as a whole. So once that is converted into Delta Parquet format files, then later we can make use of Power BI to connect to these tables which are stored in the lakehouse and produce the reports. And ultimately, on top of the Power BI, we will try to create some data activator, which is nothing but just a alerting mechanism that we have in Fabrics, for which we can provide a scenario based situations. Like let's suppose if I have some threshold going down to a certain value, just flag it or send it to an email, send it to email to somebody or a group, so we can achieve in that way. So most likely, as we did the previous project on Azure Data Engineering, I have splitted that into 1 to 5 sessions. I think 1 to 5 sessions, I believe. So likewise, I'm targeting to split this session into you can say 3 to 4 sessions, and probably in those sessions we will try to complete this small project. So this will be quite useful, and it will allow us to at least understand the flow of the project. So understanding tutorial videos and certification, I believe, is something that is easily available, but you won't get the complete end-to-end project that easily, except for some of the YouTubers or Udemy instructors. So guys, with that, let's quickly jump into our fabrics and see what's the first step that we can use. All right, so this is my Microsoft Fabrics workspace. Okay, and let me expand this, and let me also open the SQL database. You can see this is my on-prem SQL database, which has three tables, that is accounts, merchants, sales. Okay, sales will give me the details about the sales that I have done for this transaction ID. This user has done the transaction against this account ID. Account ID will be related to the bank details. Merchant will be the specific merchant where we have purchased this. And if I go to merchants, you can see these are the details about the merchant that you can see: Pure Gym, Amazon, Tesco, Waitrose, Sainsbury, Lidl. So these are the merchants through which you have made the purchase. And then we have accounts. So while making the purchase, you will be using your bank card type, right? So that detail is stored here in this. So these are three main tables that we have. and this is going to be ultimately our transaction table, which will become the fact table when we move that in our lake house at some point. This is going to be our dimension table, that is accounts, then merchant is going to be our dimension tables. In addition to these three tables, we will also try to create two more tables, that is dimtran. All right, so this is the dimension transaction tables, which will give more details about the transaction names. Okay, and that I am storing in my data lake gen2 under a container this. And then we have the fifth and sixth tables, which is user CSV and date CSV. So two files we will be getting from the GitHub account. So with that, let's go to our workspace and try to create a new workspace to begin with. End-to-end project. All right, so that's it. So you can go through with the contact list. You can just try to see which license you have. All right, and you can just also mention if it is a small semantic model that we are expecting or large semantic model that we are going to expect. So based on that, it will allocate the capacity associated to the workloads. Let's click on apply. All right, so we have a concept of task flow as well in this, which will give you the visibility of how the pipelines are flowing, how things are flowing at the high level, but it is in preview mode, so I will not be covering it in this project. So probably I will cover this in one of my videos in the YouTube at some point, okay, once this is stabilized. All right, now this is my workspace. Now I have different options. If you want to create folder structure and arrange your directory based on the folder structure, inside that you want to create the lake house, you can do all these things. Let's, for a simple operations, let's click on more and additional. You will see you have data activator, data engineering, data factory, data science, data warehousing, Power BI. So each module will be shown up here. The other alternative would be just click on this Power BI. All right, and you can switch between this. So now let's go to the data factory to begin with, and let's simply create a pipeline. All right, staging source file. I have created a pipeline named as staging source file. There would be different ways in which we can implement, and it all depends like how you want to do. All right, so let's open a copy activity. You can use copy activity or you can use the data flow. Let's copy the accounts table. Click on this, open the connection. So I have created the connection here. Okay, the linked connection, which is pointing to my data gateway, that is on-premise data gateway. Click on this and select SQL Server. So I've selected SQL Server, and now let's wait. So if you guys have any doubts or questions in creating my connections, in creating the connection string, please let me know. I will try to create another video, but I believe in my YouTube channel in the last session of data gateway, I have created the linked connection, so you can easily have a look at that. So let's see what we have here. Let's go down and check, click on demo check. I will show you the settings, what settings we have in this demo check. Let's click on edit in order to allow all the options to show up. In order to allow all options to show up. All right, so you can see we have given the connection name, wherein you will be providing a server name and database name. Then you will have the data gateway that you have created for this, and then ultimately this. So let me just select this and try to make it as basic. So when I click it as basic, I need to provide my login and password and make this as unencrypted. I don't know why it's not updating. That's strange. All right, so I think connection is already set. All right, so let me just check to the accounts. Click on accounts, go to my destination, click on my lake house. So now I need to create lake house. Click on this, try to select lake house, keep the name of the lake house because lake house we haven't created. Project lake house. Let's create this name. All right, so either you can store it in form of files or you can store this in form of tables. So let's try to store this in form of files. Let's see. I will try to keep this in a CSV format. Delimit it. All right. So this is done. Let me copy this, connect this, make this change to merchants. Scroll up, go over here. Just simply go here and change your table name. If you want, you can just copy this, go to the destination, change this to merchants, and change the file name to merchants. Then ultimately, I will be doing one more copy, which will be more of transactions. All right, let me click on the source, go to the Dropbox, click on the sales transactions, go to the destination over here, just paste transactions and give the name as transactions. So that's it. So you can see my three data sources are connected now, established. I can just simply go and save it. Let me click on save. Now I need to connect another one, which is um, something I need to copy from my storage account. Let's see how we can do that. Go to my source, expand this, open this. This is Lakehouse, and this is my storage link service that we have created. So let me try to show you how to create it if you want. Okay, let me click on data lake. Let's try to do something and see if we can get it. Go here, scroll to the right, click on this, go to the properties. All right, it will take some time. Simply copy this, go back to your fabrics, paste this value, remove this file name. All right, and then it is going to take the SaaS connection name. And this one you need to change this DFS. It's a data lake gen 2. Let's try to connect it. If it isn't working, we will generate the SaaS token. Let's close this, go back to the SaaS shared access signature, select services, container and object, create a SaaS token. Oh, all right, great. So I have already passed that earlier, so that's why it is showing up. So let's see if you're able to browse it or not, or we need any additional credentials that we need to pass. All right, so that's good. So I have selected my file system and click on, I will be clicking on OK. So let's let it load completely, let this load completely, and then we will be selecting OK. All right, click on this. The file system got updated here. Now I have the option to parameterize this. I can just go and create a parameter and then I can parameterize it, which can allow me to dynamically pass this value or change this value from the master pipelines or even during the runtime. So that capability I will be having. But just for this demo purpose, I'm not giving anything specific. Okay, click on this and this is directly landing to my main file. Okay, so this directory is going to be blank and the file name is going to be this. I can use different metadata activity, for loop activity in order to loop between different tables and files. But for this project, I'm just showing you how we can implement end-to-end project. And later you can explore using different components, use metadata activity, do logging on the file names, file size, do a data validation using stored procedures or notebooks. You can do anything you want. So main thing is like you should be knowing the flow of the project, how it works. And once you get the grip on that, you can do anything. The starting point is the main thing in the project. So see, this is also connected, and where I'm landing it. Yeah, let's copy this one, go here, paste it here if you want to. All right, so I'm just trying to keep that in the same folder. Okay, so in the same folder I will be having transaction.csv as well as dim trans.csv. Okay, so let it be, it can be in the same folder or it can be in a different folder. It's up to you how you want to structure your project. Then another thing is, I'm going to do a copy, go back here, click on this, and try to get two more files. The two more files will be available in my GitHub account, that is dates and users. Let's go back now. Users, go to my source, expand this. Over here you will see, click on this, click on, let's search for HTTP, click on HTTP, and then try to click on this file that you want to copy, and then click on raw path. Okay, once you copy the raw path, go back here, paste the connection here. All right, let's see. It's giving the entire path. No, I don't want this path. So let's go here and then try to click on this, copy the path, go back here and paste it. Oh, I want the full path. Not sure what was the option to get the full path. Let me click on this. Edit file. I remembered I have used this before. Copy path. What is this? No. All right, let's try with this. Not sure if it works. Ideally, we should be getting the files from here. Raw. Okay, let's go back. That is weird. All right, so let's do one thing. Let's copy this. I remember there was a way to copy the file path, which I'm not getting right now. Let's try to copy permanent link. Let's try this. Change this to raw. Enter. Okay, somehow it has not worked. That is strange. This one till raw, still raw path, and then ultimately let's try to remove this. Copy, enter, raw path. That's strange. this to raw part main. Oh, my bad. So this is something that we can do it from here. Let's go here and make this as after DFS. After raw it's going to be main because branch is main. Let's copy this, go back here, paste this here, and then simply enter this. Copy, enter. So once you do that, it will take you to the file, right? So now let's go here, try to paste it here, and then try to connect. Let's see. All right, great. So this has connected now. I will change this relative path. I don't know if it is really required. Let me just remove this and we will see. Try to preview this. We can parameterize this as well by giving the path of the Git account till before the file name, and then we can provide slash file name over here, and then we have the capability to parameterize this using dynamic content. Okay, so we can leverage that one if you need. Then we have destination. For destination, what we can do, simply we can change this path to dates. Date is a folder, and this we can make it as dates.csv. So that's it. So this part is done. Let's copy this, paste it here again. This is going to be dates, I believe, because it's a date one that we have defined. So this is the date. Date is connecting to dates, and then we have user. Let's change this to user. Go to source, and let's try to add a new one. Okay, or try to like edit. If you want, you can edit also and then change the relative. So let's do this thing. Make this as edit. Click on edit. It will go to that connection, fabric connection or linked service. Simply I will keep it till here. Let me copy this, cut this. All right, why this is coming? This is not supposed to come, I guess. Not very sure on this. Let me just cut this. Okay, and update this. Once I have updated this, so I got the relative path here, which I can paste it here. All right, go here, same thing I can do here. This is my dates. Let me try to edit this. Once I click on edit, it will take me to the same linked service which will have my connection, so that's fine. So it will be pointing to this. Here I have a relative path which I can change this to users. All right, so this is my user table, and this one is pointing to CSV. Let me click on this. This is dates, right? So make this as dates. So sorry for this confusion. And this one is going to be your user, or user is pointing to user, and ultimately this user is going to write into the user folder in the user table, and this one is going to be the date. All right, then you will see this is date. That is going to write into the date folder. So that's it. And now we will connect this to this, and ultimately you can see the entire pipeline is ready. Let me save it quickly and cancel this and click on auto align. So see, this is auto aligned. So let's try to run it and see like if any of the pipeline is failing for any of the reasons. It could be a connection issue, it could be a settings issue. Let's see. Let's run this quickly. It has started. So we can see that we can just attempt for using data flow as well in as one of the components in the next step. So this is like a staging we are trying to do, and we will see that we are able to use data flow as well for small transformations or even for big transformations in the fabrics. Data flow Gen 2 is quite optimized as compared to the regular data flow that we had. So we can use that also for small transformations. People who are more comfortable with mQuery Power Queries. So I think for them it will be more convenient and more familiar interface which they can use to copy the data, do the transformations, add the calculated fields, make calculations, and then write it back to some other locations. So let's see. So these three are completed successfully. Now we are starting with dim tran, which is copying from our storage data lake gen 2. Okay, let's see. It's happening, it's running. Let's keep refreshing it if we want. Yeah, great. So this is completed, transaction is completed, dim tran from the data lake gen 2 is completed. Now the next one is users, which is copying the data from our GitHub account and from a specific path. So it's still running, just few more seconds. Yeah, something got failed, so definitely I was expecting this to fail. Let's click on this and see. Connection, make sure it ends with this. Not found. That is strange. Let me click on this, go here to the source and try to preview the data. Let's see how it comes up. All right, this is failed. Ends with this. Make sure it ends with this. That includes the path, the base URL. Make sure it ends with this. Okay, let's go edit this and go here and change this to slash and click on update. And let's try to preview it once again. If the preview works, then we will simply save this canvas, which then will be cascading the changes to the dates as well. Okay, so let's see. I just failed again. That is sad. Ends with, if you configure the base URL that include path, make sure it ends with this. All right. Not sure why this is coming. Might be some connection issue. Or if I'm missing something. All right. So this one is strange. If I click on this and go to the path, it is getting changed. All right, let me click on preview data. And also try to remove this. Since we are making it relative, so might be because of that forward slash, this is creating sort of problem. It should be a small thing that we should identify, and then yeah, we are good. Okay, cool. So you can see this has been fixed. Let me do one thing. Let me go here as well, go over here and just remove this value from here and save this. Let me save this. And now what I will do, I will just disable it just to save some time trying to click deactivate this and then save it again and then try to run this. Okay, so let me just run this. I'm running it and my user data pipeline is triggering, or the task is triggering within this pipeline. The pipeline name is staging source files. This is my pipeline name which is triggering. So let's see if it works or not. So most likely it should work because we were successfully able to read the data from the preview mode. Let's see. Yeah, this is completed. Great. So you can see users got completed and then date is now running. All right. So this, let it run. So most likely this will also get completed sooner or later. Okay. And meantime, what we will do, simply let's go to our workspace. Click on this workspace and just expand the space so that you can see the objects created under that. And let me just click on this lake house that we have in place. So under this lake house, you will see we have two default folders. One is tables where you can store tables, and the other one is like files. Okay. So So under files is the staging that we have done from different data sources. We could have used some shortcuts as well, and then we can see we have ingested all the data successfully. If you click on this, you will see the folder has been expanded for accounts. If you click on accounts, you will see the file for account is here. If you click on dates, you can see the date folder is here. You can see merchant data is here. If you click on transactions, you will see transaction table is here. If you click on users, you will see users.csv is there. So that's it. So the first phase of the project is successfully completed. We are able to pull the data from our data stores, that is data lake, SQL database, and then GitHub successfully into our lake house under the files folder. So now we will target to do in the next session would be to move the files from our files folder and try to move that into a delta Paki format. We will see that we will be using sort of either data flow or notebooks to do that, and we will see that in the next video as soon as possible. Thank you guys.